Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of First Look. Going to take a look at the TBM 850 today by Black Square. A wonderful aircraft and just a nice change up from the TBM 930, which has gotten, just because it's been so decent or above average for so long, I think there's a little bit of burnout with the plane and a bit of pickiness, just because, well, we can, and it's been so long. It's also included in the sim, so a little bit different look and a little bit older on the interior, and some really nice stuff done. So we'll take a look by just looking at what moves in here. Like fully functional door, which many people will love, because I think there was at some point a mod for the TBM 930 that worked. I personally never got the door to work, so maybe that was just me. But yeah, so fully functional door, little steps there as well. Go ahead and pull that back. Nice animations. And it should automatically lock. Should get the green there, which we did. And on the inside, a few features including the passenger door with stairs. Very nice. And you also have this little key inside this cup holder here will open the baggage door right there. So I thought that was neat too. I didn't find that out until just a little bit ago. All the lights are fully functional, reading lights. Obviously no power to it yet. So let's go ahead and jump in and get some power going. We are in Glacier Park International, Kalispell, Montana. We're going to head down to Missoula. Should be about a 30-minute air time, although the departure, I think they're departing to the north today, and then we're coming all the way back down on the Ridge 1 departure. So a little bit of an extension there, which is fine because direct, it's very, very short. So, and I want to keep it short, but also want to get some time and be able to climb, talk a little bit about the plane, etc., etc. Okay, so let's see. I had some persistence issues last time I went to use this plane, so some things stayed on, and it, like, I don't know if the battery went dead or what it was, so we'll see if we get everything working properly this time. So we're over on the battery. Gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna get some basic lights on. Go ahead and get all of those things set, HSI, etc., etc., EFIS. I had been getting an attitude fail, and I don't know. It's in a self-test right now. I do want to get off battery power pretty soon because I know I don't have all day. And this thing is accurate. Okay, so no fail this time, so that's good. Attitude indicator. This time, just a quick note on the start here. I'm probably going to burn the engine up, and then I'm just going to go into the failures menu, which, if you don't know, is on this guy here. If you go into, I think it's the last setting there, yeah, you can see your total failure rate there, and then, so you may see the ITT kind of burn out, and I may kill the engine. I am not familiar with everything I need to be in order to start this correctly. Once I am able, I'll report back on that. You also give tips in the comments and whatnot as well. We'll get ignition to auto. I think we can probably do, so we'll do aux BP to auto. We'll do fuel selector to auto as well. And we'll go ahead with a start. So I think probably part of what it is, should be a hot start and then fuel in and then prop up, something like that, but I'm just not familiar enough. So that doesn't really do anything for me. I think I just need to start. I need to do a hot start and not feed the fuel in right away. So you'll see exceedance ITT. So just so you know, you get that little warning down here. What you want to do is, if you need to reset like I do, engine condition says 0, right? So we repair it and it's now 100. So you don't have to worry about, for example, not being able to take off or whatever. So that is set. We will be joining our good friends on PE today, as both of these locations are covered. But you see cabin temp is low, so I'm just gonna direct some air in the right direction here. Oops. Let's get bleed to auto. And we're gonna be cruising at 19.0 today. Air conditioning, fan only. I don't know if that's... I'm gonna guess that includes. So we'll get AP masters to on. Sorry, I'm kind of doing some stuff out of order here. Radio masters to on. Gyro suction looks good, which it was not last time I used. That was one of the persistent things that threw me for a loop. We're gonna get initial separator on. Get pitos and windshield going as well. It is quite cold today in Glacier. I don't think we're going to be required to do a anti-ice, full anti-ice for takeoff, but it's 30. Yeah, it's close, honestly. Probably should get the airframe de-ice going. And why not do prop de-ice as well? Get frequencies here just in a second as soon as we connect. Probably not going to be given anything lower than 19,000. It's potential, it's possible. So keep an eye on that. So for Glacier, let's get our gen on as well. Gonna start barking at me here pretty soon. Starter is in off position. That all looks fine. Get landing and taxi going. And altimeter today in Glacier is 3037. Aux BP should be set to auto. Inertial separator, that's fine. So once we have inertial separator and parking brake, we know we're good to go. That's really the last two things on the enunciator that we should be looking for. And the rest is golden. So Glacier, it's ground 0.6. So let's actually connect, because I have not done that yet. Just gotta exit out of a few things here. Don't think we're gonna be connected. Let's try it. I may have to restart this.
Pilot edge connected.
Well, it says we're connected. So let's go ahead and get a flight plan in. There is a reason we are flying IFR today. A couple reasons, I guess. One of them is I just want to get a nice flight in where we have to actually do some mandated procedures and whatnot. Get a full flight in here. The other is the weather's getting a little better here, but it's also bad in Missoula. So there's that. Just putting in my flight plan here on PE. 19,000 alternate. We'll put the alternate right back in here. No need to get crazy. Our departure today is the Ridge 1. Well, expected departures. The Ridge 1 to Scott transition and then direct. We may have something different given to us by control, so we'll just have to stand by and wait for that. I say ground point 6, right? Oop.
Jackson Tower, Cessna 6167 X-rays holding short runway 19er.
Number 6167 X-ray Jackson Tower, south departure approved, runway 19er clear for takeoff.
South departure approved, runway 19er clear for takeoff, 616.
There is our indication that we are connected and all is good. If you want to hear, we could listen to ATIS just because, let's see, 32,625.
Use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information X-ray.
Alright, information is X-ray.
Glacier Park International Airport. 8 is information X-ray. 1855 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 7. Ceiling 1,200 broken. Temperature 1. Dew point -3. Altimeter 3037. Arriving and departing runway 2. ILS runway 2 approach in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have...
Okay, so arriving and departing runway 2. And I'm not actually gonna, it's a quick flight plan, so I'm not actually gonna put anything until we call. So let's go ahead and make the call into Glacier Ground. Glacier Ground, good afternoon, November 1800 Sierra Victor IFR to Missoula.
Number 1800 Sierra Victor Glacier Ground, good Missoula Airport, Ridge 1 departure, Scott, Victor 231, Missoula VOR, then direct. Climb via the SID, accept maintain flight level 190. Departure with Salt Lake Center, 133.4, squawk 6577.
Alright, so we did get some changes there. Remember 1890 Sierra Victor cleared to Missoula Ridge 1, departure Scott transition, Victor 231, Missoula VOR, then direct. Climb via SID, accept maintain 190. Departure will be 133.4, squawk 6577.
We're down to Sierra Victor, back correct.
Okay. Oh, 60. Oh, geez. Numbers are all scrambled here. Okay. Departure will be 33.4. Next call will be, we're just going to stay on ground. Tower will be 24.55. And afterwards, 33.4 for Salt Lake Center, up to 190 direct. So as mentioned before, that's not going to change. Let's go ahead and put in our plan. Destination is Missoula. We're going to be on the Ridge 1 off of runway 2. Transition Scott. So load that. From Scott, Victor 231 to the Missoula VOR, which I think is it FCA? Something weird, right? It's not MSO. Or is it MSO? I need to check. No, FCA is FCA's Kalispell, I think. There's some weird there's a weird VOR name out here and I always forget it. It is MSO. Okay. MSO, then direct load. I don't know what approaches are in use in Missoula.
Springs ground United 935, just push back off of gate 5 with Tango, ready to taxi to 17 left.
Probably a good idea to look that up now, so I know what I'm preparing for. It's not a very long flight. Arriving and departing 8 and 12. ILS runway 12 is the one in use, so should probably see.
United 935, Springs ground runway 17 left taxi via Hotel and Echo.
Hotel Echo to 17 left, United 935.
I'm not going to do anything. The reason is the Missoula VOR is obviously right next to the airport, so
Victor Echo Bravo to set and maintain
if I go
5,000.
put in a procedure for
Set and maintain
ILS
5,000.
8 or
Luggage is
ILS
above.
12 right now, it's going to throw everything off, and I'm going to be off course when I'm actually asked to do certain things. Most likely will be Vector's ILS 12 from the Missoula VOR or shortly before, so that's what I'll anticipate and just fly as planned, as filed right now. No changes. Cockpit temperature is low, so I was thinking maybe this would handle heat too. Let's go over to this side and see what happens. I don't know if that's defog alone or if that's overall temperature, or I just don't know if is there a separate, I don't see a separate place for heat specifically. Okay, no, so air conditioning, yep. Will handle heat as well, which is kind of what I thought. Okay, so we're good to go there. Let's go ahead and call over to ground and start this taxi. Just gonna go ahead and grab my chart here really quick. Stand by.
Yeah, 935 ground.
United 935, go ahead.
I just don't see any movement coming out of the ramp. Just want to make sure you're ready, taxi.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my SIM's got a hiccup. I'm working through it here real quick.
November, correction, United 935, roger. Just hold short of the taxiway, then let me know when you're ready.
Will do.
Glacier ground, November 829 Sierra Victor, short of Golf Alpha with X-ray ready taxi.
Blanket Cherokee Bravo Plus, hog at or above 4,000, clear the R9 Yankee 10 left approach. Blanket Cherokee Bravo.
Did I step on someone? Was that the controller or was that feedback? Glacier ground, November 829 Sierra Victor, short of Golf Alpha with X-ray ready taxi. I wonder if they're doing a control switch or something. So one of the things about this plane is you got to give it some go.
November 829 Sierra Victor, taking your position.
We're at the hangars short of Golf Alpha.
Up on the north side, is that correct?
It's up on the north side, that's correct. 9 Sierra Victor.
9 Sierra Victor, Glacier ground, runway 2, taxi via Bravo, across runway 12 on Bravo.
Runway 2 via Bravo, cross runway 12 on Bravo. 9 Sierra Victor. Yeah, so really, I mean, I'm probably 55% on the throttle, and I think there was some feedback. You know what? I'm actually going to go this way. I think there was some feedback about how that was just crazy high, but then I feel like somewhere in a forum I read that that's somewhat accurate or something. I don't know, but it's definitely much different than taxiing the 930. So I am constantly riding my brakes. You can pull it back, but then it goes almost to a stop. You get back below like 40% power, just in low idle, you get no forward motion. So we are on Bravo, headed to runway 2. See why it is IFR right now in Glacier, though it's not anything out of the ordinary, really. It's, you know, decently bad below, you know, 3,000 or so. 3,000 AGL anyway. feel free to
Springs
correct me
Ground,
if I'm
United
wrong,
935. I think got the
but
bugs worked out, ready to taxi.
didn't see any tablet or anything in terms of that. It's just a really well done kind of what you would expect, honestly, with the
Yeah,
Black
935
Square
Springs Ground, Roger.
updates.
AWL runway 17 left taxi via Hotel and Echo.
Their updates to the Baron,
Hotel Echo to
updates
17
to
left,
King
United
Air.
935.
It's very similar in that way. Just really well done steam gauges, etc. Keep it simple but very accurate, very nice, is what they seem to be going for. So do just want to take a look at my initial departure and make sure we are heading left. We are. Good. So I can set AP pretty early on here. Notice we are on VLOG 1, so we want to be over on GPS. The only real differences you might encounter with the start are so I missed this. I missed the fuel section. It's kind of in a weird place. This exists up here on the 930. So just, you know, if you want to auto switch your fuel and that kind of stuff, just make sure you check your aux BP as well in that little area. So a couple things to do here before we switch tower. In fact, we're just going to make that switch now, and then we're going to put in our departure frequency with Salt Lake Center 33.4 into the hopper. Glacier Tower, good afternoon, November 18-9 Sierra Victor, short of runway 2, Bravo 8 for departure.
Number 200 Sierra Victor, Glacier Tower, runway 2, cleared for takeoff, wind calm.
Runway 2, clear for takeoff, 18-9 Sierra Victor.
Number 0 Romeo Bravo at INTAR, contact Reading Tower, 119.8.
Going to turn this up to flight, and then you really got to back off the power. I mean, she's rearing to go once you make that switch. Get flaps to take off. And let's go. Enjoy the departure out of Glacier. Minutes a bit aggressive, but just get it going. I like about 1600. And obviously FLC prop needs to come down, right? They're back into safe.
Number 9 Sierra Victor, contact Salt Lake Center.
Over to center, 9 Sierra Victor. Salt Lake Center, good afternoon, November 18, 9 Sierra Victor, climbing 4000 Ridge 1.
Number 290 Sierra Victor, Salt Lake City Center, radar contact. Verify climb instruction is climb via SID, accept maintain flight level 190.
Climbing via Ridge 1, accept maintain 190, 9 Sierra Victor, thanks.
Roger.
He's very good about that. It's not his first time that he's given me that correction. You find some people are more more sticklers than others, and this guy is, he's very on top of it, so. So we'll get up through this layer. This is probably a, more like a VFR on top situation, I'm guessing above like 9,000. But we'll do the full thing. It's short, and so, we don't need to disconnect, well, not disconnect, but drop services and then pick them up, because currently still Missoula is, well, actually Missoula's cleaned up a little bit. Actually, in better condition than Glacier right now. But we'll see. Might switch over to visual approach.
Cessna 490 Romeo Bravo, Reading Tower, wind calm, runway 16, clear to land.
Beautiful. It's absolutely smooth too. Get the volume down here a little bit. I think one complaint has been sounds. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just the 930 sounds. With the exception of a few things that move in the interior, although even like the fuel selection sound, I think, is basically the same as the 930. But, so taxi can come off a good pulse off as well. And we're about to hit landing lights, and inertial separation is going to come off at 10,000.
Yeah, 935, Springs Tower, fly runway heading. Runway 17 left, cleared for takeoff, wind 1805.
So I'm guessing Ridge is named because we are basically flying the ridge that kind of surrounds Kalispell. If you haven't been out here, do yourself and or your family a favor and come out here to Glacier National Park. It's absolutely stunning. So we'll go ahead and get inertial separation off. We're going to keep ice stuff off, or we're going to keep ice stuff on, rather. I think probably we're going to be cutting through some stuff as we approach.
Bravo, contact tower, 118.7.
Missoula as well. Next stop, 190, probably just going to be, is Missoula Big Sky? I don't remember if Missoula's Big Sky. Let me check.
Number 373, Echo Bravo, Portland Tower, wind 100 at 5, runway 10 left.
Approach is provided by Salt Lake as well on 27075, so that'll probably be our next call.
United 935, turn left heading 080, contact Arch.
Yeah, Big Sky's a bit further east. They're, what are they, like Helena, what else, Bozeman, right? I think. Can't quite remember. All I remember is that there's one of the ratings for PE are kind of bouncing around some of those areas out there. Smaller airports. And you're pretty much just with Big Sky the whole time, as long as you're below MVA, which is pretty high out there, like I don't know, maybe 15,000, something like that. As long as you're above MVA, rather, which is like 9,000. I'm all turned around. Feel free to ignore my commentary at any time. But this plane is really nice. I hope I am doing it some justice. I'll try to, this may be after it's been posted, but I'll try to remember to post if I can find the POH or I think there is a manual for it. It's pretty easy to find online. I'll put that link in the description. See what other things I can put in the description as well. So let's see. This is for a clock. Almost up to 15,000. For the daylight moonshine. Haven't tried this livery. This livery's nice. Like the gold in there as well.
Number 0, Lima Bravo, make left turn on Delta, cross runway 12, join Bravo and Alpha to the ramp, and monitor ground, 0.7, good day.
Probably have her descent around Scott or just after Scott, I would assume. Let's see. Let's see, for ILS 12. ILS Zulu for 12, oh yeah. He'll have us, most likely going to have us on vectors. 25 DME arc to Nego. That's the initial fix. No procedure turn marked. I'm guessing if I went direct to Nego, I would have to do one though. Maybe. Unless I'm flying the arc. So, Amebe is the appropriate initial approach fix off the 25 DME arc. I'm going to throw that in my plan over here so I can see where that actually is. In relation to Scott, I don't think it's actually all that far from it. It's on the 231, so that's perfect actually. Probably what we'll do is just request ILS Zulu for runway 12 at Amebe. So right around Scott, I assume we'll make that call. I don't know when he'll have me over on Salt Lake.
Bird Niner Sierra Victor, Missoula, altimeter 3038, descend at pilot's discretion, maintain 13,000.
Descend pilot's discretion 13,000, copy the altimeter, Niner Sierra Victor. Let this lock in and then we'll come down to, it's funny, SimBrief had us at 210. I can't imagine what that would look like. So if we're at, so we can see that zeroed out, and so we're going to break down to 13,000. That's at discretion, so I don't think it's really necessary to do that until on our way into Scott, probably. And I think the intention here is that the faster we get down there, the faster we're going to get over to what looks to be a different Salt Lake Center frequency, which I talked about a little bit earlier.
Number 3 Echo Bravo, exit right when you're able. Alpha to parking, AM underground, point 9er.
If we do get the approach that we're looking for, we can expect the DME arc at 10,005. So again, not in a huge rush to descend, as we only have to descend 8,500 feet, which we can probably do between Scott and Amim alone, but I think just short of Scott I'll start descending. This brings up, you know, there's all sorts of things that kind of run through your head when you do these short flights, but I just can't recall. I don't find myself in this position very often, but I don't know if I can even descend before Scott. His most recent instruction supersedes the last, so I think I can, but it's just weird to be descending before you're through to the transition for the departure. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this plane, and if you know anything special about it you'd like to share. You can join our community on the Patreon, patreon.com/EdamonosVA, become a sustaining member for a great charitable cause. 2-day, 7-day free trial going on over on Patreon. And also check out our website, edamonosva.org. And of course, give us a like and a subscribe here on the YouTube to keep track of all the live events that go on. If you want to join in on a live one and fly with us, the Edmanos virtual airline is active every Saturday. This upcoming Saturday will be over on Twitch, actually. I think we might not be flying. I think we might be doing some city building. For City Skylines 2 came out pretty recently. That's a part of our Season 4 structure. But we do have landing challenges every Friday, going through all the letters of the alphabet. We have Innsbruck coming at you Friday, the 3rd? I think it's the 3rd of November. Don't miss that one. I think we have Princess Juliana after that. Get first snow out here pretty recently. I was looking at the weather map over the last week or so. I think, yeah, about a week ago, I think, got that first snow out here. And so it's been, get those steady IFR conditions out in this area. rest of the western U.S., and I've been mentioning this on stream recently, really just gorgeous. I mean, hardly a cloud in the sky from the Pacific coast all the way into, you know, Denver area. Just been kind of weird in that way. Very clear fall so far. Perhaps the calm before the storm. So we're just coming up on the south end of Flathead Lake, which is at the south end of Kalispell. So all of this departure has just been kind of riding the ridge to the west, only to come up, I don't know, 30 miles south of Kalispell. But a scenic departure, nonetheless. Less direct than the Scott 2, I think it is. So we're going to go ahead and pull back and start this descent. Start at 1200 and see what happens. And if he sees me pulling away and before the transition, that's not a legal thing to do, then we're going to hear about it pretty quick. Expedite that and keep pulling the power down. We're at about 35% right now. I want to get down to 13 before Amib, so that if I am able to make a call, I can. Otherwise, it's going to be a vector's request for sure. 109.3 is going to be our it's going to be our localizer for runway 12 into Missoula. Missoula, I think, is pretty much right down there in that valley. There it is. Yeah. So 17 miles away, that's good. See if we get a different frequency here and can make the request. Expecting 27075, not sure. It's been a minute since I've gone into Missoula.
Number 12 Papa Lima, Aspen clearance, cleared to Thermal Airport, wind 9 departure, Grand Junction transition, and then as filed. Maintain 16,000, expect flight level 380 within 10 minutes. Squawk 4205. Roger, 2 Papa Lima, back correct.
that alert. I'm gonna go ahead and get our landing lights on actually now. Missoula is 3,000 above sea level. Feed just a little bit of power in. I'm okay being relatively slow here, but just want to be stable. I don't want to be pushing flaps range or anything like that. So we'll see if we get a change here. If not, we're gonna have to request vectors. Which means I'm gonna throw my heading onto current course. I feel like you're either gonna be a big fan of this digital scroll or you're gonna hate it. Everyone I've talked to, there's no in between. It's like I absolutely hate this stuttery looking thing, or apparently it's like this in the real aircraft, so no option there, folks. Yeah, so we're now 6 miles out. I don't think we're gonna make the cut here. Gonna have to continue on to the VOR until we hear further.
Niner Sierra Victor, contact Spokane approach 124.9er.
Spokane approach 124.9er, Niner Sierra Victor. Spokane approach, good afternoon, November 82 Niner Sierra Victor, level 13,000.
Niner Sierra Victor, Spokane approach, Missoula altimeter 3038, advise with the ATIS, they request.
ATIS is, for Niner Sierra Victor, we have information X-ray. We were hoping to get ILS for runway 12 from Imib. I think we're coming up on it a little fast, so maybe vectors ILS 12.
Number 89er Sierra Victor, Spokane approach, roger. Expecting vectors ILS Yankee, runway 12 approach.
Vectors ILS Yankee, runway 12 approach, Niner Sierra Victor. Yeah, we're just a little fast. Amib is like right in front of us, 1 mile. He wouldn't have been able to approve it before I could get in the system, so. There are ways around it. Yeah, you could probably tune the Missoula VOR and just fly consistent. Just make sure you're 25 nautical miles away from it using DME equipment.
Number 9 Sierra Victor, turn right, heading at 240 vector for the approach.
Right heading 240, 9 Sierra Victor. Right heading 240. But I absolutely love this here. Love this thing. I don't know what the colors just really do it for me. I kind of wish when it was on GPS it changed over to magenta. That's maybe just a personal preference thing. Probably not realistic or whatever, but it'd be nice to have a different... I actually don't know. I don't think I've flown a localizer approach yet. It might go green. I don't know. So at this point we can go in and tune. We're going to be on Loc 1, and you can see it's already in the system. I don't know if it's auto set to heading 117. It does not look like it is, so it's a manual scroll for that. 117. Be sure you're on heading mode, obviously, before you start messing with that. And he more or less has us on the 25 DME arc right now. Effectively flying the approach from the initial approach fix, even though we're not. Just passed it a little bit before he gave us that. And it is green, so that's very nice. I'm fine with that, actually. I'm fine with the other one being teal If this one's green, it's just, you know, distinguishing. Now, I don't know what this is. Is this alignment with the runway? I'm not sure I've seen that before. We'll see what that looks like when we're locked on here. Probably going to give us down to 10,000. I don't know. Tower's 18.4. And I will also note that you did notice that Spokane approach is live, so that's what they're using here. And the other frequency that I was talking about, the Salt Lake Center frequency, is when Spokane is down. Obviously, PE has enough spaces.
Niners Sierra Victor, descend to maintain 1,000.
Down to 1,000, Niners Sierra Victor. Keep losing my train of thought because I'm getting instructions, but which is great. So I think I'll push in a little bit more sound here, just so you guys may be interested in hearing landing or whatever else. You can see we're getting pretty close to that. I don't know if he's going to give us probably gonna have to give us heading 150, I imagine. Something like that. Get that prop up toward max again. Heading 150, come on, come on.
Number 9 Sierra Victor, descend and maintain 9,000.
9,000, 9 Sierra Victor. So this is a bit awkward now. Gonna crank it up to 2,000 feet a minute so we can hurry this up. Not talking about aircraft speed wise, I'm just talking about just making sure I get it going before I get the next heading, which is imminent. I'm gonna have to get a heading here soon. Unless he has me overshoot and then come back. I don't know what his plan is really.
Number 9 Sierra Victor, turn left heading 150.
Left heading 150, 9 Sierra Victor. It's just what I thought. She's very good at super tight turns, right? If you've flown, you're very familiar with that, but that's probably why he's not worried at all about giving me, you know, half mile space to do these very aerobatic.
TBM 9 Sierra Victor's 6 miles from Jelag. Maintain 9,000 until established on the localizer cu.ft Yankee runway 12 approach.
Maintain 9,000 until established, clear to ILS Yankee runway 12 approach, 9 Sierra Victor. Okay, let's go ahead and as soon as we're close enough to the intercept, we'll hit the nav. We're very close now. You'll notice there is some oscillation there, which I really like, with the bouncing of the plane and whatnot. That just kind of throws it off a little bit. Very cool. Love the way that they've done CDIs in all their planes, really, in Black Square. Alright, no looking back. Over to nav. GS saying we're a little bit below. We're going to be on it any second, so we can go ahead and hit approach pretty soon. That nose. Fuel low in the left. Really? Did it ever?
TBM Niner Sierra Victor, contact to Missoula Tower 118.4. Good day.
Over to Tower 18.4. Niner Sierra Victor, thanks. Missoula Tower, good afternoon. TBM November 829 Sierra Victor, establish ILS 12.
Number 18 Sierra Victor, Missoula Tower, runway 12, clear to land, wind 260 at 5.
Runway 12, clear to land, 9 Sierra Victor. Alright. Good.
Aspen Ground, Challenger 12, Papa Lima, ready for taxi with information Bravo.
Take that
November 12, Papa Lima, runway 33, taxi via Alpha.
33 via Alpha to Papa Lima.
Has it not been alternating? It's on right now. Wow. I guess, you know, maybe it's worth checking. You know, one thing I didn't do is weight and balance when we took off, because I was just, I don't know, generally rushing or whatever I was doing. But it's worth checking. This one may not spawn in with 50% fuel, or it may have persistence. That's a good point. I should check that next time. But we should be good. I mean, we'll just be burning on right until we're down. It's always an epic procession into Missoula. It just takes forever. This localizer goes way out. It's because there's this terrain right here. So that was established way up there. See, this is what's crazy to me, but I think it's actually listed. It's not even listed as marginal VFR right now. It's legit VFR. And it's like, how? 7 nautical miles visibility in what world? I guess maybe below. What's the listed ceiling? It's just maybe a little slow in updating. It was overcast 300 feet back when I started this flight, so I suppose it is a little bit better than that. You can see the lights. So yeah, it's maybe not from a distance though. It certainly looks bad, foggy. You know. So I'm thinking General Aviation Park. We'll just go straight off at Gulf. If we can stop and get off by Gulf, I assume we can. Look at that fuel ring. Look at that range ring. Just popped in. Yeah, no go rounds today. No, sir. Uh-oh. Oh. You hear that? Did you? It sounded like I lost the engine. There's some sort of fuel bug. This thing's spasming. Even the range ring. I mean, I can look at my fuel here. I still have, I mean, fuel's low and left, I understand that, but right still has some time to go. Should be fine.
Aspen Tower, Challenger 1-2 Papa Lima, ready for departure 33.
Number 1-2 Papa Lima, Aspen Tower, runway 33, cleared for takeoff, wind calm.
Clear for takeoff, runway 33 to Papa Lima.
God, this is always so long every time in Missoula. Departure, 20-minute approach. 20-minute flight. That's what this one was. How to double the time you take on a flight. Lesson number 1. The lights, and I have the runway now, so let's go ahead. AP's coming off.
November 1-2 Papa Lima, contact departure.
Contact departure 2 Papa Lima.
Here.
Aspen departure, Challenger 1-2 Papa Lima, 9.3, climbing via the Lensnider 16000.
Number 1-2 Papa Lima, Aspen departure, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 210.
Climb maintain flight level 210 to Papa Lima.
So that little warning sound was the minimums. Whoa, a little floaty. Nice. See, we make Gulf. This is Gulf right up here, right? think so. Something. I don't know what angle this is. Yeah, this is golf. Whew. Zulu Tower, TBM, 9er Sierra Victor, off of 1-2 at golf.
November 9er Sierra Victor, taxi to parking via Alpha Foxtrot, remain this frequency.
We're departing Alpha Foxtrot on this frequency, 9er Sierra Victor, thanks. Alpha Foxtrot. Okay, so Alpha's the next right. Did I clean flaps? I did. That's it, guys. There's your TBM 850 with very low fuel.
November 1-2 Papa Lima, contact Denver Center, 1-2, correction, 133.67.
133.67 to Papa Lima.
Pop this guy down into low, which will help us slow things down here. Do want actually taxi lights. We'll do pulse as well.
November 1-2 Papa Lima, Denver Center, climb and maintain flight level 380.
It's awfully bumpy around here. This is technically just de-ice, but we'll turn it off here and call it a day. I do hope you guys enjoy the TBM 850. Get all your switches, there's a bunch of them. And yeah, let me know in the comments if you know anything else interesting about the aircraft or want to share anything. It's been my pleasure. Again, check us out at hermanosva.org. You can become a sustaining member, patreon.com/hermanosva as well. Look forward to seeing you at a live event. Until then, hasta la próxima. Que tengan muy buena noche. Buen día.
Pilot edge disconnected.